In this video, we will be getting a little bit more practice solving equations that have fractions and decimals in them. Here we go. On the first problem, we notice that the denominators of 15 and 5. 15 is their least common multiple, so we're going to multiply through by 15 on each side of the equation. And most people like to write that 15 next to each fraction so that they physically have something to cancel with. On the left, those 15s will cancel, leaving 2z. In the middle, there is no denominator. That 3 is really over a 1. So we have 15 times 3, making 45. Equals, on the right, the 5 and the 15 cancel to a 3. 7 times 3 is 21. Now we're going to subtract the 45 on each side of the equation to get the 2z by itself. That gives us 2z now will equal negative 24. And to get the z by itself, we will finally divide by 2 on each side. And this will give us a solution of z equals negative 12. In the next problem here, we're going to multiply through by 8 because 2 and 8, the different denominators, each go into 8 as a least common multiple. And I'm going to write an 8 next to the negative 1, multiplying that through in each position. On the right, however, when I multiply through by 8, I don't need to write it anymore because that fraction out front distributes to the whole right-hand side. On the left side, the 2 and the 8 will cancel, leaving 4. That 4 times the 3b will make 12b. We're then going to have 1 times 8, so minus 8, equals, and everything in front of the parentheses canceled out on the right hand side, so we've got 12b minus 8 on the right. You then notice, aha, I've got 12b on each side. Something funny is going on. Upon subtracting them off of each side, you have negative 8 equals negative 8, which is an identity. That's one of the words we learned in the last video. And anytime we have an identity for an equation, our solution is all real numbers. Meaning, no matter what value of b we choose in this case, it will work in that equation. In our next example, we see the denominators are 2 and 5, so we will be multiplying through by their least common multiple, which is 10. Now we need to be extra careful with that subtraction because there's a binomial after that subtraction, and we need to make sure that we distribute that negative in to both numbers in the numerator. Here we go. 2 and 10 will cancel to make 5, so we're going to have 5 times the quantity 5y minus 1. Then in the middle we've got this minus sign. The 5 and the 10 cancel to a 2, so we've got 2 times parentheses y plus 4. Don't try and do too much all at once because I've seen so many students over the years forget to distribute this negative through. It just helps to do this very slowly. We're going to distribute to get 25y minus 5, then minus 2y and minus 8 equals the 10. That was the distribution of both the numbers in front of the parentheses. Now we're going to combine like terms on the left hand side. 25 minus 2 makes 23y, and the negative 5 and negative 8 are going to combine together to make minus 13 equals the negative, or equals the 10. We're then going to undo the subtraction of 13 by adding 13 to each side of the equation. And this will give us 23y equals 23, and dividing each side by 23 gives us a nice clean y is equal to 1, which will then check, if you choose to do so, up in the original equation.